Hello, Scott Hilton, Scott Talks. Today we're talking about Paramount Plus here in November 2025. The number one network in the United States is CBS. CBS has the most popular shows, so why not get Paramount Plus? If you've got Walmart Plus, you can have a choice. Peacock, NBC, the third most popular network, or Paramount Plus, the most popular network with all the cool shows. You pick Paramount Plus. Yes, we have it all year, and we have the premium ad-free version because we just flip through those shows. And we just watched the two-part crossover event with NCIS Origins and then the NCIS show that had a continuous storyline that took place 30 years later, which was cool. That was cool to watch. These are some of the great shows. That's the Taylor Sheridan show, which means it's automatically cool. Sheriff Country is kind of a spinoff of Fire Country. My wife loves both the shows. Tony and Ziva, an NCIS spinoff, takes place in Europe. So it's the streaming show actually for Paramount. We haven't even logged in yet. Paramount's made some changes. I just mentioned on the Disney video of how Disney could fix its service and make it worldwide and literally have some free stuff on the app where you literally are touching the app every day to watch your free stuff. Even if you're not subscribed, you got a limited amount of free stuff, few episodes to get you into the groove, to make you want to get Disney Plus or streaming stuff, live stuff. And I said Paramount could do the same thing. And I haven't looked at live TV on Paramount Plus in so long because we've been on demand, everything's streaming. And network stuff has just started in October. And it'll run into winter and kind of slow up and stop, and then it'll pick up again as February, January, February, definitely by March, and they'll wrap up by May. That's how network stuff works. So definitely you want some network stuff in fall and spring, and you want to explore other things. HBO Max, Apple TV Plus, Amazon Prime Video, and Netflix. And some of you have Netflix year-round, I know. And if you got kids, you got Disney year-round, I know. And Disney, you always want to get the bundle with Hulu, Disney Hulu. It's only a couple dollars more. You get tons of stuff, and they're merging Hulu into Disney anyway. Get used to it. You have all those great shows, and you got all those ABC and Fox shows on Hulu. So live TV is something I haven't looked at it a long time for Paramount Plus, and they own Pluto TV. If you know Pluto TV, free app, all this free stuff, just has commercials. And someone said a couple of years ago that Pluto TV was literally making more money for Paramount than Paramount Plus because Paramount Plus was losing money. And this is what Pluto TV looks like. I'm like, oh my gosh, they did kind of incorporate it in. Well, that guy got a commercial there. Got my wife's Roku. I've got an Apple TV box here. Her Roku's here. She's got her own remote. And look at, we got CBS Mornings on right now. This is all live. It's called live because it's live entertainment. 24/7 news, 48 hours. All this is basically news and information. This is ET. Entertainment Tonight, interviews. You know, they've got something. The Daily Drew, something that you can watch. Not now, because it's at 10:30. But now the live stuff's going on with commercials. I mean, you click on it now, you get it. Here's an extended highlights of UCL. We've got, what is it, football? Football. Champions League. There you go. There's a TV show, Ride, The Cut, Fabulous Four, a bunch of good shows from Paramount and Showtime. And they're probably, a season behind so that you can get it right away and get a look at it and check out some other cool stuff. Oh, Indiana Jones, what do we got? And the Kingdom, that's a movie. And there it is. Kingdom of the Crystal Skull. You can watch that at 5:55 today. Isn't that cool? This is what Disney needs, but they need to give it like Paramount Plus, like Pluto, have a free section where the live stuff is free and you're showing stuff, and maybe you can show the network stuff a season behind or a week later, and it's still free, but it's commercials, lots of commercials, and as many commercials as you want. And you don't have to stick to, the time slots, because streaming and things, unless you're just going to fill it with tons of commercials in between the gaps, you could do that and have little things running and ads and behind the scenes and stuff like that. There's CSI network shows, so it's better at sticking to the hourly format. But look, see, the next one's at 9:17. It tells you it's not exactly 9 o'clock, 8 o'clock, 9 o'clock. It doesn't have to be, because it's streaming. It's going to be when it's going to be. And we're showing too much soccer. Paramount, The Cut, fabulous. What do we got? South Park. Got tons of South Park all day long. You can sit and watch South Park all day long as your background noise while you work, clean house, study, do whatever, work a puzzle, whatever you do, whatever you do. Movies. There's a bunch of movies. Dungeons and Dragons, Teenage Mutant Ninja Transformers, tons of great movies. You just have to watch the commercials, like cable. Cable had commercials. It's just like watching one of those channels. You give up a couple things on cable, but you gain new things. You gain so much in streaming, so many shows you cannot get on cable. And this is kind of like the cable experience. And Paramount owns Star Trek, so you get Star Trek, Enterprise, Lower Decks. You get all this stuff, history and undiscovered stuff. So that would be like having the History Channel again. Survivor, tons of Survivor all day long. Reality, Jersey Shore, oh boy. All these great nostalgic hits, Jag, all day. I Love Lucy, all this is I Love Lucy. 80s sitcoms, Cheers. We got Cheers going all day, it looks like. Sister, Sister, Black Voices, 24/7 Laughs, NFL. There's some NFL. What do we got going on? Any games? No. Tampa at Buffalo. Watch live on Paramount Plus. So they got that kick in where you're getting used to it. You're like, I don't want to subscribe. If they were to make this area, the live area, free, and maybe give you 1 or 2 episodes of a show to get you hooked. And then they got these guys where it says, football, and then you're like, really? But not really. You see what I'm saying? Get it on Paramount Plus. Oh, I can watch football? So there you go. This is why I say they all should have a way to get into the app. You sign up, you register, but you don't have to actually pay for anything yet. And see, it stops there. Now, Pluto, they're on the Roku channel, Pluto, Tubi, they're all kind of the same way. They're free, ad-supported streaming TV. Fast. It's called Fast TV. So Pluto, owned by Paramount, free. Makes tons of money on commercials. Has all this stuff. Let's go back and see what we're looking at. No one knows what we're looking at. Let's get loaded. Look at all this stuff. Pluto Reactions, Pluto Comedy, Trading Places, Pluto Drama, Forrest Gump. Also on demand. Curious Case of Benjamin Buttons. We can watch that right now. PG-13, Romance. Warner Brothers, it's starting right away. So that's cool. What is this? It says 10:30 to 2, also on demand. So you can watch it now, or you can wait and watch it live at 10:30. You have the option of both. And it's free. You get all these free movies. There's Hunt for Red October. I love Hunt for Red October. I could almost sit down and watch it, but I'm sure I could get it free on with no commercials on, the other part of Paramount Plus. Clue, Species, Charlie's Angels. Look at these great movies. There's Pluto Bond, Quantum of Silence, Skyfall. I mean, you've got all these great BET holiday movies. Wild and Out, Spike, Pluto Trending Now, Twilight Saga Part 2. There we go. Pluto Bond, Quantum of Solace, and also on demand. A lot of this stuff's great. But look how far it goes. This is what I was talking about. Of course, you would spoil people. They'd probably never pay again, but you have to have some good streaming shows to get them hooked. And what they've got now is a minimum of free of stuff, but it's not free yet. You know what I'm saying? Have a little bit of news. Have some local. Roku channel calls it News Near You. So it's like local news. It's like for me in Orlando and Ocala, Florida, if I got Orlando news or Tampa news, that would be near me. It is a Gainesville station, and I could get that possibly if they have a deal with them. And that's near me. I could get weather reports and go, oh yeah, it's only just 40 minutes up the road. That's pretty close. Brothers of the Wolf. Is that a werewolf thing? But there's tons of stuff. And look, they got Season's Greetings now. There's Season's Greetings. They would have taken you there. Comedy. Family Ties. Tyler Perry's Love Thy Neighbor. Just tons of stuff. It just is nonstop. I think there are hundreds of these channels, literally. Pluto Classic Drama, Diagnose Murder, Renegade, Matlock. All this is Matlock, non-stop Matlock. Murder, She Wrote, non-stop Murder, She Wrote. Caught my wife watching Murder, She Wrote. I said, what are you watching now? She goes, Pluto. I was like, oh. Perry Mason, met a lady at the doctor's office. She was looking at her phone and saying, oh, I watch this all the time. And she had, I think, Pluto or Tubi. But she said, before I go to bed every night, I always watch an episode of Perry Mason. And I was like, really? Cool. There's the old Mission Impossible. Bob Ross, The Joy of Painting. PBS. I grew up PBS watching Bob Ross. Westerns. Bunch of black and white stuff. Death Valley Days. Classic TV show. Wanted Dead or Alive. I think that's Steve McQueen. Yeah, Steve McQueen was a star of that back in the day. Let's see there. I think Rawhide, Have Gun Will Travel. Masters and we're running out. Gunsmoke, the most popular show probably ever on TV, ran for like 15 seasons or something. Just kept going forever. Wild Wild West, great show. Loved it. Rawhide, there's Raw. Clint Eastwood was in Rawhide. Neat. Even had Elizabeth Montgomery in a great episode. We watched that. I made a point of watching it. Rifleman, Chuck Connors, The Lone Ranger. Bill Cosby used to joke about on his when he was stand-up. Tonto, don't go to town, because every time Tonto went to town, he got in trouble and had to get rescued by the Lone Ranger. Classic movie westerns. Magnificent Seven. Yay, that's a great movie. Turn of the Seven. So there you go. You got Guns of the Magnificent Seven. You got every Magnificent Seven you could ever want. Star Trek, just all the different episodes. This is the original series they're showing right here. Man Trap, Voyager, Deep Space Nine, Twilight Zone, classic, super classic show. Stargate. Can you imagine all this moved over to Paramount Plus? A section, you could have a Pluto TV section and have a bunch of this stuff just free running. The idea, this is just nonstop. Like what we saw live on Paramount Plus was good, but you're paying for it, kind of. It's not free to watch and click on the Paramount Plus icon. You can click on the Pluto TV icon. There's Blue Bloods, CBS. Nash Bridges, I think that was CBS, right? All this great stuff. You got BritBox TV. You know, why walking, waking the dead. Oh boy, what's Waking the Dead? Is that like Walking Dead? Probably not. It's probably some detective show. Everything in Britain's detective murder mystery because they love Agatha Christie and Sherlock Holmes and Heartland. My wife loves Heartland. Been watching, I think, catching up episodes on Netflix when we had Netflix. It's on a lot of streaming services if you check for it and try to start season one, I guess. Because they're in their 12th, 13th, 14th season. They're huge. They're from Canada, so they're going to be one or two seasons behind in America, unless they make a deal, a good money deal for someone to be one season behind. But you're not going to get the latest episode unless you have a VPN. You can switch to and say, "Hey, we're watching from Canada." Sure, you are. True crime. I mean, look at this stuff. It's nonstop. There's nothing reality. We're still going. They're literally teen mom, bad girls. Oh, we got competition reality. New Survivor to get in there. There's Holidays. Ion. Everyone watched Ion on Tropical Heat. Ion was a big deal on cable. Everyone had the Ion channel. Bounce was cable and antenna. I had that on antenna. ET Entertainment Tonight. Just watch stuff. Just have that playing. Gordon Lightfoot. Here's some live music, and also on demand. You can see concert. Thought it would just be like a radio. Radio would be good.
This is a reminder.
Ooh,
Take my algae cal drink.
we got some alarms coming up soon. That's from
This
my
is a
wife.
reminder. Take my algae cal drink.
So this is great. This is Paramount has all the cool stuff. I've got an alarm going off at 8:05. I mean 9:05, and it's almost 9:05. So I'm going
This is a
to
reminder.
stop. All right, I'm back. Alarms are done. Ordered some plants outside. Got a remote on my watch. Apple Watches have camera remotes, so I was able to start the video again. All righty. Here we are on the Paramount Plus app, and this does have additional Showtime content. They have some show content with ads, but without ads, you're getting a little bit more. You've got search. See, it pops out. Disney Plus does this too, but they've added some little buttons at the top now for their new thing. And you can search, and you can type it or you can voice it. I've got a voice remote on the Roku. The more advanced Roku you get, the more features you get. We have an Ultra box, which means more features. Just wish they'd put out a newer Ultra box because this one's a few years old. Open Star Trek. Let's see which one it picks. There's a movie. It picked one movie. Really? Oh. Open Star Trek Strange New Worlds. No results. No, that's not right. Poor little guy. Don't say open, I guess. Star Trek Strange New Worlds. Yeah, don't say open because there's no show called Open. There it is. Star Trek Strange New Worlds. Good show. Captain Pike. Early days, right? 10 years. They're starting about 10 years before Kirk. They're going to do 5 seasons. And they said in the end of the 5th season, if most of you know, no, we don't want to exit. Most of you know Captain Pike's fate if you ever saw the TV episode, The Menagerie, the 2-part episode, which was actually the original pilot for Star Trek that had Captain Pike. Jeffrey Hunter played from The Searchers, John Wayne movie, The Searchers. Jeffrey Hunter played Captain Pike. And Majel Barrett, who was Nurse Chapel in the original series, was number 1, his first officer. And CBS executives back in the 60s didn't like the fact that a woman was first officer. So they said, you got to lose her. And Of course, I don't know if Gene had married Magil by then or was dating her or whatever, but he wasn't a loser. He made her a nurse in the new pilot. And Lucille Ball spent some of her own money because it was a Desilu production and said, yes, we're going to do another pilot because the network wouldn't pay any money. We thought, we were promised Wagon Train to the Stars, which is a big Western show. And it was more of a mind thing episode. It wasn't as much dramatic action. There was a little action, but it wasn't as much as they were hoping for, more shootouts and stuff like that. And they said, we thought we were getting an action show. So they made sure the next one had more action. And they hired William Shatner, made a new captain. The only one they kept was Leonard Nimoy as the Vulcan. And most of the CBS executives didn't like him because he looked like the devil. He had pointed ears. And they were like, we don't want him. We don't want him. And Roddenberry was just like, oh, dealing with executives. No, we're not exiting. No, we're going back. Go to the back button. There you go. Go down to home. Paramount Plus's home screen. Yeah, they've added a few buttons at the top on Disney Plus right now. Got your South Park, your next watch. So that gives you what they think you should be watching. We watched another Scream movie for Halloween. We'll have to hit, I think it was 3, so we're going to have to hit 4. And this one's 5, the V. It's kind of hard to tell. They should color it in, make it better. There's 6 with Gina Ortega. And that one looks like a 5. See, that looks like the same thing. But that's the original, I believe. That's the original. The Road. These are things they recommend you to watch. And they think, well, you watch one Scream, you should watch them all. I said, we'll see you next year. This is what they think we should watch. This is Keep Watching. Mayor of Kingstown, Taylor Sheridan show. Great show. And NCIS, Sydney, Watson's good show. Fire Country, almost everything on this great show. Ghost, we watched the US version. Why isn't that locking in? Well, I think we got 1 or 2 more episodes on the UK version. UK version came first. It ran maybe 5 seasons, 3 or 4, 5 seasons. But being UK, there were only like 8 episodes at a time. Because in the UK, they don't put out a lot of episodes because they have tighter budgets. Elsbeth, great show. Watched a little bit of one of the original episodes. School Spirits, Paramount Plus, kind of a teen drama. Hollywood Squares, I did not like the new Hollywood Squares. Drew Barrymore was the executive producer, and she made herself the center square. You need someone really quick on their feet, funny, that people love as your center square, like Paul Lynde was back in the day before I had gray hair. Paul Lynde was the best center square. Agency, we didn't get into the Agency. Equalizer, my wife loved that. Frasier, they did 2 seasons of a new version of Frasier for Paramount Plus, which was really good. SEAL Team, different shows. Elsbeth fans also watch Matlock, and we do. We watch both. Tracker's excellent show for CBS. Really a hot show. Now, I think it's on Disney. The first season's on Disney Plus. They bought the rights, which is a smart idea. NCIS Origins, they just did that crossover episode where it started out with Gibbs, old Gibbs, looking back on a case from 30 years ago, remembering, and then it concludes on NCIS as they wrap up the case. Tony and Ziva, we watched that. Sydney, Ghost, there's the American version of Ghost, which we prefer over the UK version, but we love the UK version too. And it's neat to see the similarities of characters and some that are so different. Like one of the ghosts is an American Indian, which is not, and a Viking, because the Vikings, there's a lot of evidence they made it to America before Christopher Columbus. They just kind of probably hit it from Canada and worked their way down and explored around. So, an American Indian would be there. But the guy with that scout guy with the arrow through the neck is in the UK also. There's a guy with an arrow through the neck. And there's a politician. And there's some different people. The lady that used to run the house, that's her great-great-great-great-great-grandmother. She's, then they have different names for the characters in the different versions slightly. There's still pretty much the same story. The old house, they inherit it. The girl dies briefly and comes out of a coma, and all of a sudden she can see a ghost. That's the plot of most of them. There's like 4 ghost shows all over the world. There's one in Australia that just started, one in Germany that doesn't have real high ratings, but it's there. Mobland is excellent. If you loved Yellowstone, you're going to, and that's a Taylor Sheridan show, Yellowstone. You're going to love Mobland. Oh my gosh. That's excellent. Sheriff Country's good. Boston Blue, we've been watching that. Tulsa King, another Taylor Sheridan show. If you love Yellowstone, all the Taylor Sheridan show. Landman, great. Got a new season coming soon. Taylor Sheridan. And there's Fire Country. There's the Blue Bloods has been canceled, but now the spinoff Boston Blue. He's gone to Boston, left New York, and that's she was the one that was in Star Trek. Taylor Sheridan, there you go. Linus, excellent. 1923, 18. Those are prequels to Yellowstone. 1923 and 1883. Brilliant, brilliant shows. I mean, movie Finest Kind. He's got a big deal that he's made with supposedly with Peacock for like $1 billion to come over to Peacock. And as of next year, he can start making movies and working on movies for him. And it'll be a few more years before he can do TV and stuff. Lawman Bass Reeves. And Bass Reeves was the inspiration, most people think, for the Lone Ranger. He was the sheriff that really got all the bad guys. Mayor Kingstown. That's Jeremy Renner, Last Cowboy documentary Taylor Sheridan did. Great stuff, great stuff. Dexter, Original Sin. It got canceled, I think. I was like, I love Dexter, Original Sin. And he also did the voice and mannerism, the thing for the video game, the new James Bond video game where he's young and he's just getting into the thing. And he's British, technically. All those British guys can do American accents. And I was like, well, that's what they should do with the new Bond. Get this guy to play young Bond. And since he's not doing, Dexter anymore, but get him to do Bond as a young man, because we could see Commander Bond, slowly working his way in where they want to hire him for the spy service, where he leads the Navy. That would be cool. Tracker, excellent. You got to see it. Calling from Accounts is this quirky little show from Australia. It's kind of adult themed, but it's a guilty pleasure. Okay, most people are going to go, I didn't like it. Sky, I don't know. I liked it. It was pretty good. It gives us something to watch. Love Linus. Oh my gosh. Linus, Taylor Sheridan. Excellent cast. Rabbit Hole is pretty good. We watched Rabbit Hole. Top Gun Maverick movie. There you go. Star Trek First Contact was one of the better Star Trek movies. Still Wrath of Khan, everyone says, is the best Star Trek movie. Jack Reacher. They've got the Reacher TV series that is excellent, excellent, excellent on Amazon. And made that guy a star. I mean, once he did Reacher, people were like, suck. Hire him for our movie. Give him a role of some kind. Get him in the movie. All the Star Trek, so there's Wrath of Khan. The Offer is a great little miniseries. It's about the making of The Godfather. Great one. Oh, got a Godfather, Gladiator, the big Star Trek movies, World War Z. There's talk of making a World War Z show. The original Star Trek. See, my daughter and her generation, the spoiler alert, Star Trek Into Darkness is kind of Star Trek The Wrath of Khan, kind of reworked for they call it the Kelvin universe, with these guys playing the main characters. She saw that first. And then I had to kind of make her watch Star Trek The Wrath of Khan to show her how good it was. Or maybe we later made her watch it before this came out. Maybe she watched the original, she watched this at the theater, and she loved it. Loved it. They did it right. And then she watched The Wrath of Khan, and her opinion was Well, they did a good job getting the characters right because they were the same basic characters, and all the Godfather movies, Bull, I Love Lucy. It's loaded with stuff. Halo was a great show. There's talk they might pick it up at Netflix or something. Somebody might continue it. They do a lot of that every once in a while. NCIS Hawaii was good. They cut it out to put in the Sydney show. The Cards season one was good. Two was a little, and then the guy that took over brought back 7 of 9 as an officer for season three, and it was really good. And it even teased at a new Star Trek show that was going to be called Star Trek Legacy. But Paramount drugged their feet, and they were like, "Well, we want to do it. We've already got the set built for the ship. They got the people." And they drug their feet. So the guy, the showrunner, he went on to do other stuff. He's doing I think the new Vision series over at Disney, and he's done some other stuff. So it's like they could still hire him, technically, or get someone else and still do the show. But everyone was wanting that show because it would have been 7 of 9 as captain of the Enterprise, and everyone was like, "Yeah, that's good. That'll be good." Number one show right now, South Park, of course, NCIS. Tracker, old rerun of Frasier. That's the original. That's how you know you got a good show. You're in the top 10, you're not a new show. Ray Donovan, that's Showtime. Some of the Showtime stuff is only on the premium service, while some of it is being incorporated into the regular Paramount Plus now. It used to be called Paramount Plus with Showtime as premium, but now I think it's called premium now, but it's ad free. And you're supposed to get some more live sports and some more news and different things like that. What we think you'll like, different things. Still got their Mountain of Pride, Mountain of Entertainment, where's Monsters, Supernatural, Emmy Awards. So they've got shows, all shows. These are all the shows. Sheriff Country, Picks for You, NCIS, recently added, different things like that. Movies. It's a great service. It's really underestimated. Top Gun Maverick. I mean, how can you do better for a movie than that? All these great movies. Dora, a new Dora movie. And the old Dora played Hawk Girl in the new Superman. That was her. Hawk Girl, yeah, Hawk Girl. Indiana Jones, New Gladiator 2, Novocaine, different movies. Collections. So whatever your collection is. Peak streaming. Top streaming stuff, South Park collection, Hispanic Heritage, NCIS collection, True Crimes. Available with audio description. Well, that'd be cool. Critically acclaimed. Yeah, all the Taylor Sheridan shows. How about that? Star Trek, tons of it. Taylor Sheridan, there he is. There's our buddy. Once again, the Mission Impossible series. Get them all, man. Just get them all. Movie Club. All these great movies you can get. Zoolander, Anchorman 2, Ferris Bueller. Chinatown. I watched that, and I watched Chinatown too. Because Jack is good. Popular franchises. South Park, NCIS, Star Trek, of course. Seasons and celebrations. That's cool. Guess they all have episodes that are based on certain times of the year. Maybe, I don't know. Brands. Showtime. Yes, we know. You got Showtime. CBS brand. Life Unfiltered. Nickelodeon. There's Nickelodeon for the kids. Let's Get Weird. Virtual Vacation. So they're kind of pushing the envelope, but they're making it work. There's their live TV we looked at earlier. Entertainment Tonight. All that's good stuff. See, that's what I was saying. If you could make, you could pick, you could pick at the top, or you can just keep running down it, what you want. Let's see if they have anything that's like Orlando-based news. 24/7, CBS News Local. There's local, but see, they only got like 12 big cities. You got Los Angeles, New York, Baltimore, San Francisco Bay, Boston, Chicago, Colorado, Detroit. Miami would be closest thing for me in the center of the state of Florida. Minnesota, Philadelphia, Pittsburgh, Sacramento, Texas. So if you wanted live news, which I think is part of the premium package, and you live near any of these places, that would be cool. You could say, I got local news. They're calling it local. That might be pushing it a little bit. Sports. Watch your local live. There you go. Live and upcoming. NFL, different sports, CBS Sports. And a lot of you still want that cable feel. You want YouTube TV or Hulu Live TV or Fubo or something like that. It costs like 80, $90 a month. When you could get, now you can get ESPN Ultimate and have it added to your Disney Plus app or have it separate app. And Ultimate is like all those ESPN channels on cable, okay? You're paying for that. Or they have ESPN Select, which is what you were used to seeing for ESPN. And there are a couple free things on ESPN if you just click on it on the Disney Plus app. A couple shows, things like that. And that's the way they should go. Everyone should have a little free to tease you. Just like, oh yeah, we'll give you this show, and you have a lot of commercials. And you're like, okay. And then we'll give you an ad version, which will give you more stuff. And then you get an ad-free version, which might give you some live games or better news or something, or just ad-free. You get all the same stuff. That's what I want. All the same stuff, but ad-free as much as possible. A lot of the live stuff sometimes has got ads because they've got ad breaks for the ad versions. So there's no getting around the ads on live and a lot of sports and live events. So even if you have ad-free, you'll be watching a sport or a live event of something that's going on right now, and it might break for a commercial because that's what they do. So you got CBS Sports, basically. So you don't need the YouTube Live TV stuff. You could drop that $80, $90. You can get Paramount Plus. I'd get the premium version to get your local news, maybe. Everything you can possibly get ad-free because you get all the best shows here. And Peacock is NBC. I'd wait for Black Friday. Always Black Friday on Peacock because whatever deal they throw out at Black Friday is the best deal of the year, and get it for a year. It was $20 last year, probably be $25, $30 this year because they added an NBA contract, and that's a lot of money. So sports are expensive. Disney Hulu, always bundle. Always get a bundle. It's only $1 or $2 more, and they're merging them anyway. You get your Hulu has your ABC and your Fox and FX content, okay? So that's where you find the number 2 network, ABC, on Disney Hulu. If you're into the watching all your network shows, then you can back off on Netflix. You can back off on HBO Max. You can back off on Amazon. You can back off on Apple TV. And Apple TV is a great service. It's got some great shows. If you haven't tried it, you got to try it. So when all the network stuff dries up in the winter and summer, you better be all over Apple TV because you'll love it. You got some great stuff. So news. 24/7. Top stories. You just hand pick it. It's like being on YouTube. You just click and you watch 2 minutes, 12 minutes, 2 minutes. All the news shows you want to watch. This is why you don't technically need, if you want the local weather, you just look at your phone and the app's there. If you want a news channel that gives you some local stuff and you can program it yourself, get Haystack News app. I love Haystack News. We watch some Haystack to get some kind of local, or Orlando or Tampa. Maybe a little Gainesville would be nice. Another news app we were trying out, Zine or something. It had too many commercials. But it had the Gainesville station, and I was watching the Gainesville station when I wasn't impressed. I'm going back to my Haystack because I like my Haystack. And so I went back to Haystack. But something, if they would copy Haystack's way of doing things, these are all these great news stuff. And there's your live local news. They're calling it local. I would call it local, and Roku channel calls it local near you or something like that. So clips, more clips, 2 minutes, 3 minutes. It's like watching YouTube. And you can get all this stuff on YouTube. You can get news, weather. YouTube has everything. And then your list of stuff you've checked off and said, oh, yeah, that's my stuff. I'm going to watch that. These are all great stuff I've clicked on. These are some of my favorite stuff. Guilty pleasures. Where do we go? Oh, let's not manage my account. No. And you can pick profiles, all that. I highly encourage you to look into Paramount Plus. It's a great app. This is the time of year you can get CBS. If you're cutting the cable cord, I usually recommend getting Netflix. It's the #1 on-demand streaming service, great shows. But if you're wanting to watch your network stuff, you need Paramount, Peacock, and Hulu. And always bundle Hulu with Disney. So you got those four. Most people have 3 or 4 streaming services they pay for. Now, if you have Amazon shipping, you get Amazon Prime Video free. So are you paying for it? Not really. If you got Walmart Plus, you're getting Paramount or Peacock free. So you're getting Paramount free with ads. So there you go. You've already got it. And if you get it for a year, you got Paramount for a year. Sound good? It works for you. And Peacock, you just wait till Black Friday and see if they have a great deal. Go online, go to the website, check your Facebook often. Check, but when Black Friday gets ready to roll in, if you see it for a year for like $25, even $30 would be fine. But if it's still 20, grab it. Grab it. We grabbed Stars this year. We don't usually get Stars. My wife loves Outlander and wants to see Outlander Blood of My Blood, and we're trying to wrap up season 7 of Outlander. They just promised a final season 8. And we got Stars for $11.99 for a year. They had some kind of special. And recently, I saw on Facebook it was $30 for a year. I was like, wow, that's pretty good too, because they have some good movies. They have a few good shows, The Powers, The Spartacus, things like that. And some of the older shows are good. But yeah, you could check it out and see if you love Outlander or if you've seen a few episodes. Netflix has, I think, season 6, probably at least, I would guess. But yeah, you could check out Outlander and check out some movies you haven't seen. If you get it for just a month, it's something to get in the winter and the summer because you're busy with network stuff, watching 20-some episodes of stuff. And that fills you up. And it'll carry you into the summer and the winter. Some of those stuff, Elsbeth, we were still watching a Matlock or two. My wife said, we didn't finish Matlock? I said, no, we still got an episode or 2 to go. You can't keep up. It's hard to keep up. So I encourage you. Paramount Plus is one of our favorites. We use it all the time. All the time. Now, not the live area. That's why it caught me off guard a little bit. But we are always on demand. I know what I want to watch certain days of the week, and we watch it. And we can catch up on slow days. It doesn't have a lot of stuff dropping. We have Apple TV Plus for a year right now, which was usually, we had gone months and months without Apple TV Plus. Now I wanted to see the new season of Invasion. I wanted to see a couple of other things and catch up on Foundation and different things like that. And I was sitting there getting it, and I was like, I'm just going to get it for the year because there's always good stuff on it. And we checked out the studio. It was amazingly funny. And there's going to be another season of Shrinking we want to catch. There's going to be another For All Mankind, should be another season of that. So we want to catch that. And there's always something really good. They have the best, Apple's got all the money. So they hire the best directors, best writers, best producers, and best stars. And of course, they didn't hire Taylor Sheridan. That would have been awesome if he had actually gone, but they wouldn't do that probably. But yeah, they hire all these great people, and you see all these big names. Jason Momoa just did Chief of War, and he started at Apple with a show called C that went like 3 seasons or something like that. It was pretty good. It's a really good show. And Jason Momoa is a huge star. And they get a lot of big stars. You'll be looking at it going, wait, I know that. Or I never saw that Tom Hanks movie called Greyhound. And there's one called Finch, too, I think, Flitch, something like that. And there's a Wolves movie with um, Brad, who is it? Brad Pitt and George Clooney that you never saw in the theater. And you probably haven't seen anywhere else, just on Apple. The Gorge with Anya Taylor-Joy and Miles Teller. Pretty good. Something to check out. But I loved Greyhound. Loved it. And Coda won the Academy Award. It's an Apple movie. They just released it in the theater to make sure it get it nominated. And he got nominated and won the Academy Award the year it was out. So they've got some great stuff on Apple TV Plus. I highly recommend it. So like, share, and subscribe again. And thank you very much for watching.